Happy October, everybody. This is Carrie from Celestial Forecasts with yet another reading for you guys. So we are welcoming in a brand new month with lots of energies. I'm literally going to be tapping into every single one of these decks here, in addition to tarot, of course, which I don't have here. And I just really wanted to give you guys an overall picture as to what the next 4 weeks is going to be looking like for you. General advice as always, so please do take the parts of it that resonate for you. Don't try to make it fit. You know, what makes sense for you makes sense for you, and leave the rest behind. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get into it and see what it is that needs to come through for your zodiac sign. Hello, Taurus. Here we are, a brand new month. So let's go ahead and take a look at the energies that will present itself to you this month. Starting off with your love connections, and then I'll go ahead and fill you in on money, career messages. I'll go ahead and grab an angel message for you, and then I also have this deck called the Harsh Truth Oracle, so it'll be focused on whatever it is that you're either having a tough time facing or a particular lesson that needs to be learned. So we'll get to that towards the end of this reading. All right, so here we go, guys. What is it that you need to know when it comes to your love connections? Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. So the very first one, fighting differences, a separation. Obviously, that will not apply to every single person tuning in, but if you are not with a person that you have so much love for still, or, you know, obviously this could be pertaining to an ex-partner. You guys had a disagreement. You guys are at odds. You're not seeing eye to eye. All right, so that's what's coming through. Let's see what else. All right, so we do have gossip, rumors, text messages, words. Just be mindful, Taurus, of perhaps what it is that you're putting out on social media or what it is that you are sharing with people, because even though, you know, you might not even think that it's anything worth turning into gossip, people have a way of, you know, just changing the interpretation of the concept of a conversation. So that might have something to do with this person that you are arguing with or have had a disagreement with. And, you know, I'm also feeling people or a person maybe that you consider to be your friend is really not your friend, especially if they're talking about you behind your back. Okay, so just be mindful of that. And this is focusing on your love connections, your relationships. So it's got something to do with that. Look at this. Okay, so angry, projections, resentments, unresolved. So October might actually be the month, Taurus, where you guys address this so it can finally be resolved. But I'm also feeling part of the reason why it's coming through is because you guys haven't dealt with it. So it might surface this month, and it's going to put you in a position where you have to talk about it. You have to address it to stop the rumors, you know, to stop people from talking. Just address it and deal with it. All right, let's see. Let me grab one more from here. Autonomy, independence, sovereignty, boundaries. This kind of makes sense for me, Taurus. So since we're focusing on your romantic partnerships and you guys are fighting, you're in separation, things are not going well, this might be an indication that you have your walls up, that you are setting your boundaries as you should. And also maybe you're feeling like you're better off being single and not in this relationship rather than being with this person that you're just not in agreement with, and things could just be super challenging right now. Okay, so let's grab some tarot to clarify this and see what else we can find out. But there are some challenges that are presenting itself here, but it's also perhaps giving you the opportunity this month to finally lay it to rest, you know? Angels and spirit guides, please, for Taurus. What do we need to know for Taurus? All right, we've got the Emperor and the Justice card coming through here. You know, it's interesting to me because the Justice card is literally focusing on restoring balance in a connection. It is about the truth. It is about clarity and fairness, as we see right there. This could be a message from your divine masculine, divine feminine, to let you know that maybe he intends to step up to the plate, that he intends to maybe interact with you in a way where you guys don't have to be at odds with one another, where you don't have to fight. You can have this civil conversation. I do feel for some of you, it might have something to do with legal matters. You know, some of you could be married. Some of you could be legally separated. Some of you could be dealing with custody issues. It could be something like that. It could even be about money, you know, whatever the case might be. Could, you know, divorce, like all of the legal stuff that some of you might be having to deal with. But it could also have been where your masculine was giving you problems and issues and they weren't doing what they needed to do if they're coming through as the Emperor. So there could be a shift in that way of behavior for them. All right, let's see. What else for Taurus? Okay, so you guys could be fighting about money, in disagreement there. Maybe, you know, your person isn't working or they tend to overspend, you know, living beyond your means. It is in the upright, so it's representing greed, scarcity, and frugality. Yeah, so in your love life, I feel it's really important for you to spend wisely, first and foremost. We'll take a look at that in a bit, because we're taking a look at that energy, money, career. But Four of Pentacles can, you know, sometimes represent possessiveness, clinginess. So let's see. It could be the masculine, you know, just whatever it is that they make at their job. It's like they don't want to share it, or they're just really stingy with their money. Let's see what else. All right, so we've got the Hierophant right here. Taurus, that is your own energy. I feel at the end of the day, what you're looking for in your relationship is for them to just be all in, like to be fully committed. And if you are spending time apart, that could be a challenge. You know, you're not sure how committed this person is. And especially if you are divine feminine, and there's some challenges here. You know, we're seeing the gossip, we're seeing the resentment, that there's a lot of unresolved things between the two of you. So I have a feeling here, Taurus, that your person, or at least you feel that they're just not fully investing or committed in the relationship. We do have the Lovers card. For some of you, maybe your person is Gemini. Choices, deep love, partnerships. I feel you love this person, but I'm also getting that they might have made some bad choices here. The Lovers card can also represent infidelity and third parties. So if that's what happened, that could be what it is that you guys are fighting about, and why you're angry, why you're mad, why you guys are not either getting along, or maybe you've blocked your person here. We do have the Knight of Wands. So I'm getting a masculine who might have been in and out of your life, divine feminine, because the Knight of Wands can be the type of person who wants to explore. You know, they want to have their fun. They're not really wanting to get married. They're not wanting to settle down. They're not ready to just be exclusive, you know. And so I feel if your masculine is now coming through as the Emperor, which we see right here, then they've hopefully grown up and just matured and are no longer in that Knight of Wands energy where they're just wanting to be free, have their fun, have their cake and eat it too. And divine feminine, you know, maybe they just expected you to just wait for them, or to take this, or to not even mind. You know, I'm just kind of getting, it's like, well, this is me and you have to accept me for who I am type thing. But I'm feeling for Taurus, you're not going to just take it, you know, especially if this relates to your situation, Divine Feminine. All right, let's see what else. Oh, this is interesting. Ace of Swords followed by the Two of Swords. So this is what I'm getting. Divine Feminine, you probably cut your masculine out of your life, you know? And so this might be a masculine realizing, okay, well, if I don't do something about the separation, then we're never going to be able to fix things. So October might be the month that you guys are finally able to create some sort of peace, like this, I wanted to say peace treaty, but you know, it's just wanting to restore peace in the relationship rather than chaos and fighting and just getting in each other's face and not really listening, wanting to get your point across, but not really listening to each other. So maybe things are stuck, as we see with the Two of Swords, but I feel that eventually you guys will be able to overcome the difficulties, and for those of you who are wanting it anyway, to be able to get back together. And then we've got the Six of Pentacles. So I'm just getting that even though you guys have had some difficult moments, maybe a tower moment in your relationship, the way it's presenting itself here, I feel a masculine is going to step up to the plate to be able to be the partner that you need them to be, Divine Feminine. That is what I'm getting there. All right, so let's continue to tap into your love life here and see what else we can learn. So I'll be using Fire Witch Tarot's Unspoken Messages deck. Let's grab 3 cards from here and see what this person wants to say to you. For Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Don't lose hope, okay? They don't want you to give up on the idea that you guys belong together. I'm sorry. They know that they did wrong. They know that they messed up here, and they're really wanting to apologize. All right, let's grab one more. One more for Taurus. Passion is strong. And I kind of feel still that that's from the masculine. They still feel very connected to you, Divine Feminine. Still attracted to you despite what you guys have been through. And it hasn't been easy, but I do feel that this masculine is really wanting to prove themselves to you. They are apologizing for their actions and how they hurt you. Okay, so let's clarify these 3 cards. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Taurus. Six of Cups. Yeah, they think about you. They want a reunion. This, I feel, again, is a masculine really wanting a fresh start because they know that they messed up. This is the next card. We've got the Star. We've got the Ten of Pentacles, as well as the Empress. So as you can see, Divine Feminine, you're on the same level as your masculine, because remember, the masculine is showing up as the Emperor. So you guys are coming through as divine counterparts. Yes, you guys have been through something difficult, but it's nothing that you guys can't get over. I feel that you guys have a strong bond regardless of what you've been through, you know. I see the Ten of Pentacles as a couple that has a very special connection. It can be long lasting. This right here is telling you that stability can be restored in the connection because, you know, with the Lover's card and the Knight of Wands possibly indicating third-party situations, you know, I feel that the Ten of Pentacles is restoring the stability in the relationship. So that could all be addressed during the month of October. All right, so that's what we're getting there. Now let's take a look at money and career here for you. All right, so I've got a couple decks that I will be pulling from. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Taurus. So what's the advice when it comes to your finances, your career? All right, look at that. Full-time job. Now, for some of you, maybe you're unemployed right now and you've been struggling to find a job. So that could be an indication of finally, getting employment, and it is coming through as full-time. Let's see what else. Untrustworthy coworker. So for some of you who are working, maybe you already know who this person is. Just be mindful of what it is that you share with them. Any information either about your personal life or something to do with work. This isn't somebody that you can trust. So they could be talking about you maybe behind your back. Let me grab one more card here. Keep people who help you to be more positive and abundant around you, and cut out people who do not. Exactly. Because anyone who's untrustworthy or just a shady character in your work environment, that's not somebody that you can trust. All right. So let me also grab from Fire Witch Tarot's Hustle deck here. This one is actually the Money and Career Oracle by the pretty PSYCHE. And I've actually tried to tag the creator of this deck so many times, but I'm just unable to find it now. So I don't even know if they still create decks. All right, here we go. I love this. You're on the right path, or you are about to be, Taurus. That's really good. Maybe you already know in your heart that when it comes to your life purpose, your vocation, your job, that's where you're meant to be. Let's grab one more from here. Be proud of yourself. I love that. Especially if that's something that you forget, that you've come a long way, that you have actually done a good job. Sometimes it's hard for you to just take a step back and take a look at the progress that you've made so far. And so this is a reminder, Taurus, be proud. Be proud of where you're at right now, because there's a lot more to your life story here when it comes to your finances, when it comes to your career, especially if you're struggling right now. It's okay. I do feel that you will move towards the direction that you need to go. Opportunities will find you. And again, be mindful of who it is that you share your energies with in a work environment, because not everybody wants to see you succeed. Okay? So that's what I've got there. Let's go ahead and grab an angel message. Actually, before the angel message, I want to go ahead and do the Harsh Truth Oracle deck. So I will be pulling 3 cards from this deck. So these cards will be something for you to reflect on in October, especially when it comes to being proactive in doing something or not doing something, learning the lesson behind a particular concern of yours, something that's holding you back maybe. So let me go ahead and grab those 3 cards. The Harsh Truth doesn't have to just be about your love life. It could be about anything. Okay, so this one really wants to be seen. Okay, finding love is easier than keeping love. Yeah, it's true. So you're being directed to choose wisely. Don't rush into anything. And if you are in a relationship where you just feel it doesn't check all the boxes, maybe it's time for you to choose differently. Okay, I get that for you as well. This is the next card. Lose the loser before the loser loses you. Okay? Don't stick around in a situation where you know this person just isn't good for you, especially if you just feel like, well, we've been together a long time and you're just comfortable being with this person. So it really goes back to you choosing wisely, Taurus. And lastly, it just wasn't meant to be now. Move on. All right, so that can pertain to other things, not just your love life, as I mentioned. Right? If something's not happening at this moment, or if it doesn't happen during the month of October, that does not mean it cannot happen later. So just keep going, keep walking your path, and eventually you will be able to manifest what is truly meant for you. All right, guys. So one more set of cards. So these are the angel messages here. I am guided to pull 3 for Taurus. All right, so the very first card, Crystal. You might know somebody named Crystal. Your name could be Crystal. Have faith and hope, because there is something positive and new on the horizon that you can't yet see. I love that. Whatever it is, and you know, Taurus, whatever it is that you've been most focused on, just believe. Truly, you may not see it with your own eyes, but there's progress being made. Let me grab one more. All right, and there's our 2. We have Aurora, which I love for you, Taurus. Okay, so this card says you are flying high right now, which may threaten others. Exactly. But don't descend, because others will soon become inspired by your example. You got to love what you're doing. You got to love where you're at on your journey. Just keep doing you. Keep high vibe. And believe me, when the time is right, other people will be paying attention to you. And this card is the 3rd one. Merlina, you are confused and indecisive because you do not have enough information. Do research or seek expert advice before making a decision. So if that makes sense for you, you know exactly what that means, right? Do your due diligence, do more research, seek out that information before, just planting your flag either in a relationship, a friendship, a situation, whatever that might pertain to. All right, guys, so that's what I've got for you. There's a lot coming through here. Hopefully there's something during this month that you're able to relate to when it comes to this reading that offers you guidance and helps you out. If you are interested in your own reading, that info is down below in the description box. And of course, all of these decks will be linked as well. Thanks so much, guys. I'll catch you next time.